right now, I talking about fighting. Sometimes people be mean and pick up your hands with on the Frank. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports. She said, you ain't have a fight in recent times. You really not ready for this work. She said, it's natural.
Remy seems to be always keeping an eye on Papoose's involvement with Claressa Shields, despite her assertions of indifference. Her sentiments about him going on to a new relationship are the one thing she is certain about. After being sidelined by his new girlfriend, it was expected that Remy would move on, but it appears she still has feelings for him. Remy is showing that she is still impacted by the rumors that Papoose is going to pop the question to Claressa shortly by displaying difficulty in handling the news. It's clear that Claressa and Remy don't get along. A few months ago, they got into a heated argument on social media about Papoose. Enduring animosity between Remy and Papoose continued to amaze fans, particularly considering that they were once regarded as one of the hip-hop industry's strongest couples, and that their love appeared to be resilient enough to endure any challenges. However, we witnessed domestic abuse from Remy and claims of infidelity from both parties, which begs the question of how things came to be. People believe that Remy's relationship would end after he was imprisoned for shooting someone in 2008. It's interesting that they were married while she was still incarcerated. Papoose stayed loyal to him throughout her more than 6 years in prison. There were no allegations of cheating, scandals, or questionable behavior at all, but fans couldn't help but be impressed by his apparent devotion, which portrayed their bond as unshakable. Every other week, a rapper becomes embroiled in scandal in Hollywood, where loyalty is rarer than a mythical creature. However, Papoose remains unwavering like a boulder, proving his loyalty to Remy in a way that made him a household name in the entertainment business. Papoose was there, arms wide open, prepared to assist Remy in reintegrating into society after she eventually exited the prison gates, despite Remy accusing him of being unfaithful while she was inside. In addition to surviving those years apart, they became stronger as they continued to construct their lives together. By 2018, they were commemorating the birth of Remy, their daughter. Papoose had 3 kids of his own, and Remy already had a son from a prior relationship. This suggested that they had a close relationship, or so we believed. But in 2023, there were reports that Remy's suspected affair with rapper Eazy the Block Captain was the reason their marriage was going to end. Her feelings quickly turned into a violent physical altercation, ending the formerly unshakable connection. Rumor has it that Papoose and Eazy met at a networking event, and things quickly spiraled out of control. Papoose reportedly struck Eazy out cold without hesitation since he had no intention of backing down. But when Remy and Eazy teamed up against Chiatti in a rap war, that's when the true mayhem began. Rap battles are fierce, emotional, and unrestrained. If you've ever watched one, you know that Gotti wasn't holding back either. In the midst of the tense situation, he seized the microphone and surprised everyone by accusing Remy of cheating on Papoose with Eazy.
I don't give a fuck if you bother me. Just stop doing your business. I found out you was selling the help. That could really ruin your image. We talking Barack and Michelle, Pap and Rhea, and if that's us, gotta post the child silver for.
When Gotti made his shocking announcement, people had been talking about it in private for some time. However, rather than simply stating his case and walking away, he publicly humiliated Remy for being unfaithful after being committed to her for so many years. He explained that he believed she had betrayed the man who had supported her through all of her struggles. The audience was enraged by this verbal assault, which went beyond simple accusations.
Interview. He showing admiration and tell the world how he think he's one of the greatest. That nigga held you down in prison for 6 years.
The most surprising thing about this whole situation is that Eazy didn't try to refute the accusations. Instead, they virtually validated them.
You wanna know the details? Nigga, keep this on the D9. If you heard it, nigga did something to me over a female, and he ain't dead, it's probably because I still got the female, nigga.
Papoose is clearly going through a tough moment after years of devotion. According to rumors, he ended his relationship with Remy not because of a controversy, but because she had cheated on him. Soon after, Papoose moved on and started dating renowned boxer Claressa Shields. The true drama is that there are reports that Papoose's new relationship is becoming serious and that Remy isn't handling it well, despite Remy's first attempts to appear composed and unaffected. People are claiming that she is struggling, making audacious claims that she will fight for what is properly hers, and even implying that she is prepared to hit someone if needed.
Believe that sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like in certain situations, you could talk to a person, you express how you feel, they express how they feel, y'all come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view. When it gets to the level, or when you tell people that, like, sometimes how I used to be, I don't even want to hear that. You don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't care what you thought. What's up? What we doing? And that's where I come in. She said, you ain't have a fight in recent times. You really not ready for this work. She said, it's natural. She don't have to. I don't like talking about fighting. Sometimes people be meeting, you're getting hands put on them. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports.
You accept responsibility. In an Instagram message that Claressa gave him for Papoose and Claressa a few days ago, she wrote, "You are the one who was married. If you can at least sleep on the phone with me or be with me in person, it shouldn't be a big deal to let me know you made it home safely." Alternatively, it appeared that Claressa was asking Papoose to be truthful with her because you dozed off in the Sprinter. Afterward, Remy wrote, "Papoose's stupid self fell asleep on the phone with Claressa. As soon as she heard my voice, this bee, who was supposedly a boxing champion, became frightened and hung up. You're not alone now that I'm disclosing everything." But she didn't stop there. She also wrote to this woman named Claressa Shields and that pathetic publicity squad who published false information about me every day in an attempt to discredit me and make him appear to be God's gift for an extended period of time. Papoose insisted that the wisest course of action was to remain silent when I pleaded with him to release anything to halt the story. I'm worn out. And she didn't stop there. This New Yorker claims that when Claressa learned that Remy had posted her online, she became quite agitated. "I know you hate the internet games, but you need to do something today about this girl. My PR team is going to freak out when they see this. I can't be up here exposing her," etc., was among the many messages she sent Papoose. The film will be released prior to December 25th. Has your other phone arrived yet? I'm not concerned about whatever she says or includes in her story, so don't worry, she says. Given Remy's public revelation of her private life in this way, Claressa's film, which debuts on the 25th, emphasizes her standing as a top boxer. Being revealed as being engaged with a man who is still legally married is the last thing she wants. "Hey, Miss Shields, I'll pop the question with the dummy," Remy wrote. "I took a copy of your conversation before he followed your suggestion, and he was getting me detained as he was plotting with one of his girlfriends to attempt to destroy me, the same woman who might have exposed you using my platform. It had been 17 years since she had cheated on him. I have all of your pictures and statements from ladies while I was away. He was holding me down, sidebar, and he was going to claim that he was the author of my rhymes. He also threatened to divulge any personal information about me. So imagine that if anyone was going to do so, it would be him." Remy then posted other texts, though, which suggested Claressa was pleading with Papoose for basic needs. "I'm not happy, but all right, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop because I would rather not add to your already existing stress. I can't thank you for being honest, even if it's always the best course of action, since how I feel isn't justified. I'm simply sick of talking and you not listening. You will do whatever you feel like doing. I will not. I'm tripping, I'm requesting presents, I'm using flowers to convey my life. I want time to myself, and I'm just lying here feeling stupid. I appreciate you making this remark. Remy Clown Claressa." Miss Shields, hello. I am a single lady, just as I used to be. because he thinks he's the prize and is a taker rather than a giver. Your mother's uppers won't suddenly go low, and he won't buy you anything because I'm good at that. Please quit toying with me since I'm the one with the bag and I'm truly happy, which is why your guy is furious. I'm not the enemy you desire. You are someone I know. Eventually, in response to her, he said, now that I've moved on, and she's playing the back Bart, Remy is a narcissist who chose to cheat repeatedly. She would rather manipulate Chase on social media than deal with this like a responsible adult, despite my repeated requests for a divorce. For the sake of my 6-year-old child, who, as you can see, has to attend school, I would like not to engage in social media folly. You feel stupid, but you look stupid too, he added, as if describing Papoose as a broken individual. Since he is the neighborhood leader, he decided not to respond to the accusations that Remy was having an affair with his friend. Instead, he said, this is where Remy was now that I finally moved on while I was at home with my daughter last Christmas. She's lying because she's upset. I informed the narcissist that we could get a divorce like grown-ups. She won't do it since I wouldn't lie, and it's easy to prove that I'm lying. Lying about historical events in front of the world is pathetic, and you are the one who fooled around with the cops. I got the impression that this fool was baiting me to lie about the knockdown, even though I didn't actually knock her out. It doesn't matter that I didn't even return the punch because everyone saw him in the fetal position the last time I saw him, after I knocked him unconscious. Remy roused him and brought him home for 4 days. She was eager to lie about it once more, as you can see. I knocked him out because he shook my hand and then slept with my wife, but not because he slept with her. In the background, you have a gambling addiction and have attempted to coerce me into paying for a smooth divorce, regardless of what I do with my child on any important day. She said you claim that the only way you can leave is by a public outcry. Yet I've been pleading with you to leave and let's have a private divorce for years. You are aware that I am not the social media type and you exploit my morals, which stem from my background and the image of the so-called gangster girl, against me by taping me saying things like, oh, not really. Will I seek assistance from the police? A snitch, are you? A rat? Give your brother a call. His name is Joe. You make an effort to keep me out of everything and everyone. My naive ego was pushing them. No, don't discuss who you really are. You will stop at nothing to maintain the image of black love that I helped you create, and you tolerated the falsehoods that were spread about me. You hated that I started Battle Rap League, and I was mad I was helping other rappers over you, she said, claiming he was jealous of her achievements and the way he supported other rappers. You actually stated that you would attempt to destroy it. I've had enough of the phony knockout story. She also inquired as to how many of her family members and friends he had purposefully alienated and pushed away. See, it'll go away, you insisted, but everyone only comprehend what they heard, not what they saw. After you entered and exited my security system wearing a mask like a robber in the night, the issue got worse. By feeding battle rappers in my company stories and purchasing information, you helped create a narrative for the public. And he knew you were coming because he knew you had run out. Thereafter, you made me go to the awards with you and act like nothing was wrong because you were envious of me receiving favorable treatment and saying, I mean something to whom you all. Play with the police, Pap. So you forgot the pool never got finished being remodeled because you were getting in the garage and the workers called the cops to get you the f off me, she wrote, allegedly committing acts of violence and physical abuse. I require editing. Thereafter, the video and audio keep lying. I'm not sure whether I want to carry on this debate at this time because it has devolved into a total mess. Although they have been able to present themselves as the ideal black couple for a long time, it appears that their marriage has been troubled for some time. They had everyone's attention, to be honest. Remy went on to say that before Claressa began dating Pap, she and Claressa were friends. In her DNS, she texted, and here's Pap, who's a weird old girl for wishing me Happy New Year's. She included screenshots of their exchanges. Their acts were deceptive, but eventually that facade can only be maintained for so long before snapping. By praising you while knowing that something wasn't right and keeping quiet about it, I created a monster. You think you know what I have, so you feel free to lie to these folks. This woman was actually contacting me a few days later to ask for tips on how to show off her figure. You will regret it, I promise you. I can't believe a 45-year-old woman is crashing out like this clown behavior, was Claressa's harsh response after she had grown weary of being replaced. I'm not 45 yet, but you are 29, and I'll just say this. You are not aging like wine, Remy said. I'm not your adversary, but please remind your guy to buy you gifts and flowers. This week, he didn't answer his phone since he was with his Cali girlfriend, who attempted to reveal both Claressa and Pap's adultery. Showed how dishonest Remy was in writing the text to generate drama. You're going crazy with bogus taxes. I'm not a bee. Bullying is something you can do. You're bitter and furious. Quit making yourself look stupid. She replied, come get your behind whooped and crash out, February 2nd. Claressa is a trained boxer and mixed martial arts practitioner, so she would have easily destroyed Remy. Remy didn't challenge Claressa to a fight, which isn't surprising given that she is a very energetic person, and I have to appreciate her. She also appears to be quite concentrated on their fight, despite her assertions that she is over Pap. It is clear that she is not satisfied with the relationship and the engagement rumors that are circulating. Her current relationship with the block captain isn't going well either, and there are reports that he is already cheating on her with other women. This shouldn't be shocking because you usually lose them the way you get them. It appears that Papoose is already looking for a ring, and he hasn't held back when flaunting his new girlfriend. Claressa has expressed her readiness to wed her sweetheart in an open manner.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There you go. We deserve each other. But I don't know, it's not one of those things I was like, you know, I want to keep him all to myself. I didn't really.
Remy is likely upset and unwell after she realized she messed up with Papoose. I want to know your thoughts on this. Please leave your thoughts and feedback below, and then have a look at what follows.